this is Anna, and we are going to do your person's feelings. It's going to be very simple. We're going to, there's 4 piles, and take a moment. And which one do you connect with? Do you connect with the rose quartz pile, the tiger's eye pile, the green malachite pile, if I'm pronouncing that right, and or the clear crystal pile? We're going to start with the rose quartz pile. The rose quartz is love. This is about unconditional love and protection for your balancing out your emotions. Okay. Now, I'm going to read this. This is a blind spot card. And I'm going to find the blind spot meaning the very last thing we do. Give me just a moment. Alrighty, there, I had to find the book. I lost it for a minute. Okay, your person's feelings for you. Now I'm going to interpret this for you because a lot of times feelings are up and down, and if you're asking, there's a question. I fell in love with you, but I realized I'm not worthy of you, and that is why I distance myself. Their current moods. They may be in love with a new person. That doesn't mean they're out of love with you. They're not over you yet. And they're scared. They're scared about the future. The hidden truth says they wish that things could be different. Seems like they're trying to move on, but emotionally, they or you cannot move on. News is on the way. That means you'll be getting a message soon, usually about this person. This says the truth is that not all as it seems. And remember, we just discussed that this person is still in love with you, but is scared because they don't feel worthy of you. So they're trying to move on. They've never had a connection like you before, and they're trying to move on with a new person. It's not really working. They may be fronting, but it's not really working because they're still in love with you. And when it says in love with new person, that means that they have a love for this person. Their feelings are growing for this person, but something's just not there. It's not the same connection as they had with you. It's not the deep connection that they had with you. And you or this person are both feeling like things are left incomplete and unfinished. So that's why the truth is not as it seems. This is be open to unconventional ideas. In other words, this person may come back around and may explore and see, do a little fishing and, asking questions or asking your friends questions. They may be watching your social media and they're just trying to find out, where are you? Have you moved on or not? And this could also be you. It could be you, but between the both of you, somebody's fronting and somebody's trying to move on, and you're just not, you haven't emotionally let go of this person because there's a connection there. It says don't be paranoid or imagine problems. So don't do things until you realize what's going to happen. Okay, it's perfectly all right for you to move on and them to move on and them to eventually let go, you to eventually let go. This card is just saying you don't want to. There was a reason that it ended, whether it was a commitment issue, trust issues, deception, cheating. It was this person or you, one of you, could not fully emotionally let the other one in, and those problems still exist and would need to be worked through. And I wouldn't want to see, I feel like one of you is trying to move on and trying to build something because you really felt like, okay, this is easier. This new relationship is easier. I feel like the depth that you had with this other person was just, it was very intense. Okay. So, and there are people in your life who are making judgment based on what they think you're doing, who they think you should be with, sometimes about your ex. Just and you or this person are also getting bad advice. There may have been a person who came in between you. For some of you, it was someone who has a strong opinion, who is very connected to you or this person, who was thinking that they were doing the best thing for you by advising you not to stick around or them not to stick around. And it's bad advice. It's gonna backfire. Yeah. Okay. So let's just find out what the hidden number 43 is, what could be hidden to you or the other person, what you're not seeing. Oh my gosh. Remember I said don't you have to think in an unconventional way, and that just because this other person moved on or you're trying to move on does not mean that you've truly moved on. It's truly done with. That, or you made up a reason because, or they did, whoever did the breaking up, it seems like there was a reason that was made that wasn't what the real reason was deep down. You remember we talked about core issues before. And number 43, it says, right now you are assuming, and it just so happens what you are assuming is incorrect. We assume things about situations based on how similar they are to a model, example, or prototype we have already built in our minds. Or in this case, I feel it was to save face and save emotions. Because this relationship was so intense, and I really feel like it was too much for one of both of you, because it was just beyond who you thought you were, and it was something that you do have to work at and grow into, and you just wanted something easy. Okay, like you can go be in love with the person you're with, you can be he or she can be in love with the person that they're with. It can just be easier because it's surface stuff. You have things in common, you have fun together, but that connection that you had with this your prior was just incredibly deep and beyond your, it was like, oh, this person like reads me like a book, this person knows the core of me, this person knows stuff that I have not shared. And it's scary, and people will sabotage. That's what I did with Rick for the first 2 or 3 years, because when someone can just look at you and hold you with their stare, when someone can tell you about yourself and you haven't shared that stuff, it's they can read you when you're not around. That's scary. That's stuff, like there were parts of me that were mine that I wasn't going to share with anyone, and he knew them automatically. So I'm like, you know, but you do get used to it. You have to work at it. I'm not saying that if you went back to this, I'm saying you're going to hear something about this situation. But I'm not saying that this person is coming back to you necessarily, or you, because they might, or you might choose to just be easy, be with the person that loves you for who you are, but can't read that hidden part that you keep to yourself. It just says don't make assumations about things. Don't assume that you know the truth about things, and also don't rely on that person that has that strong opinion, because they may mean well, but they are not giving you good advice. So there you have it. If you pick this pile, and you even have your what might be hidden to you. These cards are amazing, I'm telling you. They're truthful. All right, I will see the next card. It is time for the Tiger's Eye next. All right, for those of you who have chosen the Tiger's Eye, again, we will be reading the hidden spot, what might be hidden to you or the person you're interested in later. Okay, just take note that a person may be connected to you. They may be the person that you're supposed to be with, but they can still mess up. So, does that mean we forgive them? Well, there are times when they have broken the bridge. There are times when there are certain circumstances which are breakable, and that is literally cheating, abuse, toxic things, and because who they are inside, they have to be showing that on the outside. Okay, let's take a look here and see what we have. The very first card is, I am afraid you will leave me. Feelings surprised. Oh, you will be led. You will be shown the way. I hide behind material things, and it says here that, and don't get offensive here, but it says here that you may be causing your own problems. You may feel that you have no choice, and someone may accuse you of falsely or have accused you falsely of something. Okay. It seems like there's a lot of fear. There's fear and surprise. Like there was really surprise in this relationship that something happened that that is causing problems. This might be someone that you've broken up with or will be breaking up with, or you may just be having problems with. And it says you will be, someone will light your way, someone will help you. Now let's just take, because this person really does love you, they want to be with you. It could be you, but they're afraid. They're so afraid they're not giving all themselves, and they're creating there you're creating your own problems. I feel like there's walls up on both sides here because of the issues. You got, for your blind spot, let's see, number 5. Number 5 tell us what is bulldozing. Okay, take what resonates here. Says, if you draw on the sickle, you are bulldozing a part of yourself into a situation. Conscious itself functions like water. If you're looking at a river from above, you can see that the large river often branches into smaller rivers, and each time this happens, there's less water available to the main river. Due to some trauma, which occurs in all people's life with no exception, the question is simply to what degree? To what degree are you accepting something that you shouldn't? Are you hanging on to something that you shouldn't? Or you're not committing to something that you shouldn't? And this could be your partner as well. There something happened here. For some reason I get cheating and deception. And it was done out of fear. It's like they're afraid you're going to leave them, or vice versa, and they're like, somebody's a shopaholic and does it for emotional reasons. But then like this deception or cheating happened, or or it's just some type of lie or something that happened, because they were pushing you away or you were pushing them away. It does say here that you're creating a lot of your own problems despite what the other person did to you. That there is there's emotional, and I'm not talking about you here, I'm talking about them. There's some emotional immaturity here, via impulse when it comes to love, via a trauma that was had before, and it just kind of feels like you both put up walls. Okay, one of you had the trauma in your past. You're afraid to move forwards. You don't. This other person put their wall up because you put your wall up, and it kind of turned into a resentful stalemate. So what you have to discover, or maybe you already know, is what trauma is causing you to be closed off. Is it the surface issue? Remember, we talked about core issues and we talked about the 2 questions. Please watch that video, because in just 2 questions you can figure out what your core issue is, because we have surface issues right on top. We have the deep issue. There are always deeper issues, and you need to discover the core issue. Find your patterns and solve this so it doesn't happen again, because I feel like there is real love here, but right now there is so much resentment, and just somebody's gotta, both of you gotta take the walls down, but somebody's gotta work on their inner happiness and the trauma, past trauma, and heal themselves. Okay? Because you're putting it, when they say bulldozing, what they mean is you're just putting you're accepting things you shouldn't. You're trying to fit yourself into a situation that you don't fit in, and because it's not because you don't have enough love to share. It's because that trauma or whatever happened, or that other person, there's somebody who has the other person who's got commitment issues and been through some serious trauma in their life, and I'm seeing that you're trying to fit into their life. You want to be there for them, you want to help them, but they've got to help themselves. You can't fit a whole person through the crack in a door, because that's all they're giving you is this little crack in the door of emotion, and you're trying to slide into that. Okay? We often want to help. We often want to think that love is the answer, that our love and support will be what they need to emotionally heal and let everything in. And this is not TV, it's not the emotions. Real life is harder than that. Real life means we have to work on ourselves. So there we go, Tiger's Eye. And the Tiger's Eye is about protection and balance, bouncing the negative energies, and protection for yourself and your emotions. And I'm sending that love out to you, because no matter whether it's you or the other person, this needs to end. I'm not saying the relationship needs to end, but you guys, the stalemate, you got to take the wall down. You got to work on yourself, both of you. Okay? All right, there we go with the Tiger's Eye. Next, we're going to do the green malachite. Alright, my friends, here's the green malachite. This is a crystal of detoxing everything. Negative energy, detoxing your aura, your chakras, your body, your digestive system, everything. So, and it's also one of protection. As always, we have your blind spot card. Well, this is actually no, so as of today, we have your blind spot card, which is we're going to read last. It's going to tell you what is the blind spot that you may be missing regarding the relationship and yourself. Okay? All right, let's see what we have here. I'm sorry I hurt you, and will make it up to you. I wish I had treated you better. Grief, loss, many regrets, setbacks, loss of a relationship, friend, or valued possession, disappointment in love and friendship. It says that it talks about the end of a relationship or possible ending. But there is a happy feeling as well. Okay. The tortoise, slowly but surely getting ahead. Okay, this feels like a card of starting over. You and your person, There was some hurtful things said, some hurtful things done. I really feel like there's a lot of regrets as the way the way that it happened and how someone behaved. And I feel like this was, you felt like somebody felt like it was suddenly, but somebody also felt like they knew that it was coming, but you were still shocked and surprised. Interesting. Which is common, it happens. And I feel like you're both growing, you're both learning, you're both getting your life together. And I feel like there is or will be an apology coming. There will be an understanding, and there will be a civil point in this. I feel like this card is indicating that moving on with your life is the right thing to do. Oh, here's another one. Let's see. There we go. Yep. What did I say? See, I didn't even know that was there. That's an extra one. Um, because you'll be moving on. One or both of you will be moving on with somebody who's more compatible with you. I feel like you guys had this connection. You might have been a karmic partners because I feel like there were a lot of problems. And there were a lot of lessons that were learned. I feel like one or both of you definitely, I feel like you're definitely moving on and that you're with new people or going to be with new people very soon. And I feel like people that are more compatible with you. And I feel like you're really paying attention this time, both of you, to make sure you're not in an oil and water relationship. Because I don't necessarily feel the person or people that I'm feeling, I'm not necessarily feeling that they were bad people, but that there were parts of the relationship that became toxic because of the oil and water. You just weren't compatible. But whoever it was, you had a very, very intense, passionate relationship. I mean, it was in the bedroom, it was wonderful. All right. And as this often happens, you've got your missing or hidden blind spot card says that, you know, in oil and water relationships, you are, and you still might be upset. And that's the point. When you think back on this later, you're going to realize that both of you ended up talking to respond instead of, oh, talking to respond and listening to hear so that you could respond rather than truly understanding the other person's point of view. So the need to be right. The whose fault was it? I mean, there was just anger there. Whose fault was it? It was a simple thing where it was just oil and water. You know, both of you good people, bad choices in each other in the way you handled the relationship because you were so angry. So it doesn't matter if you're completely wrong or completely right. In the scenario, you should have been listening to your partner to understand them. Both of you should have, rather than to respond. Okay, I feel like when you did listen to each other, it was so you could say what you say next, which happens in oil and water relationships. And it's just saying, make sure in your next relationship that this didn't become a habit, that you're actually consciously sitting when you have it, because you're going to have disagreements in all your relationships. But make sure that you are listening to understand what the person is trying to say, ask clarifying questions so that you truly understand. Because even in really good relationships, you have times where you might be frustrated and words come out that don't make any sense or that don't come out in a way that the other person understands what you're trying to say. That's why listening to understand is so important. Don't prepare what you have to say while the other person's talking. Listen and say, what do they mean? Okay. That is for you guys. I'm really happy that one or both of you are moving on. I'm happy that this was just something where you're getting your lives back together. It was just an oil and water relationship. I'm sorry that you went through it. I'm sending you love and light, and hope everything just comes together for you like I know it will, because it said happy and in love with new person. So, all right, we are going on to the clear crystal next. Okay, we have the clear quartz, and it is powerfully protective. It dispels negativity and clears away negative energy. Wearing, caring, meditating, or me sending this to you, sending the energy from it to you, opens your mind and heart to the higher guidance, allowing the realm of spirit to be transmitted and translated into the world of physical form. Okay, as always, we have a hidden spot card. We will be taking a look at that last to see what blind spot, what are you, maybe you are, maybe you're not fully aware of in the situation. A lot of times pointing that out and being fully open and accepting to it, you can change your situation. All right. Oh my gosh, you see this? Choose neither, lovers. This seems like, and see the decision making thing, that's what you're going, because I think you have feelings or confusion about two different people. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. Okay. Growth or personal power or courage, you'll command the respect and attention of others, embark on a new adventure, act decisively. Saying act decisively. Make your decision. Research carefully before making the decision. Which one of these partners? It's saying choose neither. It's saying Spirit's saying neither one of them. It's like you got yourself into a situation where neither one of them are worthy of you, but I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying they're not for you. But at the same time, you had a connection with both. This happens sometimes, every now and then, when you meet two people who you've been in past lives with, or you've passed in the spiritual realm, and you feel an incredibly strong connection with. I feel like you have connections with both people, and it's just telling you these are passing. Okay, these are passing. These are not people. These are not partners meant to be in your life. You just had a connection with them, learn a lesson for them. Could be the lesson that see what happened when you tried to date multiple people. You know, that you need to be more decisive, be more discerning. Or that maybe someone didn't mean to have a relationship. They were like, I'm just going to casually date. Well, those people who run around and casually date, even the ones that have commitment issues, catch feelings. Okay? I was with the guy who told me that he wanted a relationship. I don't think he was lying at the time. We get lonely, and that's what happens. I felt like he was telling me the truth. But in the end, when it came time to be serious, he kept making excuses. We would get together. He would invite me for you know what. And after the first time that I didn't see him a month after that, I just said, no, I'm not coming down there just for that. He goes, it's not just for that. Well, no. You're going to have to come up here. There's going to be no more hanky-panky until you show me commitment. Then he disappears for a month. He comes back, acts like nothing ever happened. And I led the conversation. Oh, he acted like he was going to call me and talk to me on the phone. Like, oh, I'm going to tell you something important. No, he didn't tell me something important. Oh, I missed you. Come down and see me, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. You're going to have to meet me halfway. You know, you're going to have to come to my territory or meet me halfway, because I'm not driving to be seduced, basically. And that's why you don't start, that's why nobody should start out telling the other person that they, if you have a pattern of trying to be serious with someone and you just can't. Deep down if you have commitment issues, and you should just be fully honest with the person. Hey, I know that I've tried relationships before. I know that sometimes I want to try relationships, but I'm really not sure where I'm at or what I can give you. I would respect that person more than a person who is all like winning temporary enthusiast who just like, oh, I want to have a relationship, because he did at that point. Okay, I ended up getting hurt. But the key to it was right. An India friend told me, you know what? That's why they don't want you having relations with these people. You know what I'm talking about. The hanky panky until you're married. Because not only can those hanky panky elicit false feelings for someone, but if you do that and they discover that they're not able to commit to you, you've done something, you've given the deepest part of yourself, and you've gotten hurt double. At least you can say, I didn't do that. At least you can say, if you hadn't never done it, and at least I didn't give it away, or at least he wasn't there for that. Anyway, so we're talking about, and we are talking about a person who, both of these people are constantly on your mind, and I believe that you're constantly on theirs, but you're on the one person's mind more than the other one. And somebody, spirit guide, is telling me the person with the brown hair really does have feelings for you. So, accept this, both of them, as karmic. If you choose to continue to date, you're going to have to be both of these, but you're going to have, okay, if you choose to date one of them, you're going to have to choose to date one of them. This is going to take a toll on your emotions, your self-esteem, and everybody in the circle is going to get hurt, including yourself. So think about that. But really, they both were there because somehow you managed to meet two people. Gosh, what were you doing? Power dating? I tried that. It's too confusing. I feel like you originally thought that, hey, you know what, I'm just going to casual date. I was given that advice. I tried it too. Didn't work out well for me. So you're going to have to figure out what you want. And although spirits say neither one of these for a serious relationship, this one person does definitely have feelings for you. So you're going to need to be extra gentle. And you're going to need to be honest. You're likely to lose them both anyway, but it's too much on you. It's too much on them because somehow everybody caught feelings. All right. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. All right. Now I don't know this. I'm trying to think here. And angry. All right. Yeah. This is just a developed friendship. There's somebody who you've developed a really deep closeness to as well, that's the same sex as you. This could develop into something more in that person's eyes as well. You're gonna be you're gonna be overwhelmed. But it could also be same sex. Maybe you're dating the same sex and it could just be talking about them. I'm getting though that this person, they like the deep friendship, and they do have. This might be the other person because this person is genuinely in love with you. I believe both people caught feelings for you, but I believe the reality of this is this person has deep friendship love feelings and they don't realize it. Okay? And yeah, they're going to be mad. They're going to be mad. Okay? Someone is going to be very hurt. But it's up to you if you're going to still date one of them. If you just, if you can, if you still date both of them, but there's going to be expectations there and they're going to get hurt. It's going to hurt even worse. Let's take a look at our blind spot. It says number 78 is our blind spot. Self-preservation disguised as self-sabotage. And in this, I'm asking you, why? Because we pulled up this hidden one. Why were you dating both of these casually, thinking that, hey, it'll just be casual, I won't get serious with anyone, I'm not ready, something like that, okay? In the deep, deep, deep core issue, is it because of past pain? Is it because, like you would say, oh, I didn't have time. I don't have time. I'm very busy. I don't have time to find love. I'm very busy. So I'm just casually dating. Well, in casually dating two people, you've actually spent probably more time than just dating one person full time. So, or a serious relationship. But I know all the emotions and why. Why? What happened that you can't share that deep emotion? Or were you power dating, thinking I can weed out the bad ones and get to the good one faster? Because that never works. I'm just asking questions here because it's talking about you self-sabotage. Okay? That you thought you were doing it to preserve something in yourself, but really you were self-sabotaging. Okay? You or someone in your situation is actively engaged in self-sabotage, but you and the potential, they are maybe unaware that part of you or them is doing the self-sabotaging, is convinced it is preserving you or them. In other words, you, in self-preservation, you think you're just protecting yourself. You've got all these reasons, and the reasons is okay, I'm casually dating because I don't have time to date someone, or because relationships are too hard, because this, because this, because this. And you'll find that you may have multiple reasons why you're trying to casually date. And in the end, what's the reason? In the end, what's the very last thing that you say of, if you do the 2-question thing, go to the website and go to the how to get to your core issue in 2 questions. It's annoying, but it's amazing how it's like, whoa, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, and you have an aha moment answering these questions. And that's what you need to do here, because there may be inner work and healing that you need to do, and maybe just casually dating because you didn't want a serious date, because the end result was that you might get hurt again. Okay? Alright, so think about that. I know I've done it. I've self-sabotaged. I've sabotaged relationships. Okay? Maybe you don't want someone to get to know the real core of you. Maybe you want to have that private space to yourself. And being emotionally vulnerable to someone means that they are able to know you. And if you're really super connected, if that person is gifted, they will know stuff about you that you don't tell them. And that's a very raw, vulnerable thing. It happened to me. And you've got to be willing to allow that and accept that. All right? So there we go for the green emerald. I thank you guys. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and share. This is your person's reading. Bye.